Are you a blogger looking for new ways to drive traffic to your website? If so, Medium might be just the solution. My name is Casey, and I'm the founder of bloggingguide.com. In this video, I'll show you how you can use Medium to drive traffic to your blog. But first, what is Medium? So, Medium is a free online digital publishing platform that was founded by Twitter co founder Evan Williams in 2012. And basically, it's sort of the longer form version or answer to Twitter. So basically, anyone can write about any topic they're passionate about, from personal experiences to expert advice, tips and tutorials, investigative journalism, and even thought leadership. The articles can be any length, but typically they tend to be substantial, full length articles. Perhaps most notably, writers can earn money from their content on Medium. And that's usually the context in which you hear about Medium, because you can earn money through Medium's partner program. But Medium can also be a major source of referral traffic for bloggers. In this tutorial, I'll show you 5 strategies that I've used to drive traffic to my blog from Medium. As a quick overview, what these 5 strategies are. The first is to embed or reference blog posts in Medium articles. The second is to create what I call an article conclusion section to allow for an easy follow-up. The third is to create a Medium publication and then use the custom navigation links within that publication. The fourth is to build an email list using Medium's tools. This can be done both through your personal profile, but also through your publication. And the fifth and final way is to include links to your articles or blog in your bio, about page, or the lists section of your Medium profile. The first strategy, you're basically just embedding or referencing blog posts. These are blog posts that are on your independent self-hosted blog in your Medium articles. And there's 2 main ways you can do this. So the first way is you can just link using a standard outbound hyperlink in your Medium article. So in the example that I have here, I linked from an article on Medium about Medium's partner program to a third-party source. This is my own personal site, which has an article about Medium's partner program. This is just a standard hyperlink, but it is worth noting just because some people would assume that Medium, like a lot of platforms, might deprioritize your content if you included links to external sources, but they don't. There's really no limit to how many links you can place like this, but just for good reader experience, I wouldn't go too crazy. The second way is you can enter an article URL and then basically just press enter, and you'll see this little embedded article preview will generate. So in the example, I was talking about how often you should publish on Medium. And in the Medium article, I entered a URL leading to another site. This is again my third-party site, and it's an article about how often do top-earning Medium writers publish stories. So the nice thing about this is these sort of custom embedded previews do look a bit more professional. They're a little more eye-catching. And it's nice that Medium generates these previews. Doesn't have to do that. And honestly, I'm not completely sure why they still do it, but it's a great way to encourage click through to an outside article. Now, you don't want to use too many of these in an article because they do physically break up the space, and it can be annoying if every other paragraph you have these what look like almost advertisements leading you to a third-party site. But in moderation or in the conclusion of your article, these can be a great way to drive outbound clicks to your own blog. The second technique I like to use, and this is one that I think some other experienced Medium writers have learned to do, but you definitely wouldn't know as a new author, is that you can basically insert an article conclusion section. This isn't a formal widget or something you can adjust in the settings of each article, But at the end of each article, you can include something like I do. First, I have like a thank you for reading this message, encouraging readers to leave a comment below, and if they have any questions, how they can contact me. And I have a link to my blogging guide newsletter. So that's the first link that I'm promoting in the conclusion. The second, I have a if you like this article, here are some other articles you might enjoy. And then, as you can see, that's actually an article on bloggingguide.com, even though it's talking about, how much money Medium pays per thousand. This is an article I wrote on my own site. So it generates that nice little embedded preview, which is how I like to do it. Assuming you have a featured image, that's what it'll pull. And yeah, it looks nice and definitely encourages some click through. I usually do 2 of these. I wouldn't do many more than 2. It'll just start looking like you're listing things. But people are pretty used to having 2 options. And then there's the about the author section, and that is the about the author block is just a static image that I created in Canva that I insert at the end of each article. And when you're doing this for more articles, you can just copy and paste this entire section, article to article, and you won't have to redo this. You might change up the related article so that it corresponds with the article that you're actually inserting it into, but you can reuse this section. So it's not like you have to even upload this each time. And then I just have a bio section, and again, links to kind of all my social media profiles, Medium publications, newsletter, courses, basically anything you want to promote. This is a lot and probably about the max that you should include. But even if you do 1 or 2 of these things, this will go a long way, because when people are scrolling down, they don't really have an indication that the Medium article is going to end until they actually reach the section that where Medium basically tries to push you to other Medium articles. And before you get to that section, you have to read the whole article. And by inserting this natively as a portion of the article, making it basically an embedded conclusion, basically, your readers are going to go through this and read this just like it's part of the article. So there's a good chance that some percentage, albeit small, will click through. The third strategy for driving traffic to your blog from Medium is to use the functions that come with Medium publications. In this first example, I'll use the navigation link. So Medium allows you to create publications, which are similar to digital magazines. So these are basically collections of articles. These can be all your own articles. They can be a mixture of your articles and then other authors on Medium's articles, or they could be entirely other people's articles. But regardless of whose articles comprise your publication, in this top menu bar where I have the different sections, tips, earnings, format, you can see circled, I have just to the right of that line, there's the subscribe button and the little email icon. That's something I add. So basically, at the top of every publication on Medium, sort of like with your blog's navigation menu, you can have this one link that is very prominent but leads directly to a third-party source. So this could be great for directing people to a newsletter, but it can also just be a great way to funnel people to your blog. And that's generally how I use it. One of the other cool things about creating a Medium publication is that Medium allows you to add external linking buttons in publications. So normally, if you're publishing in someone else's publication, you won't have any control over this, which is why you should create your own publication. But as you can see in the examples, between some of my articles, which are basically Medium tutorials about writing, I have click here to join our Facebook group, both the blue banner and that click here button. Those are functions that can be added natively into your Medium publication. And people will browse your publication if they're interested. And basically, yeah, they'll see these buttons however often or densely you wish to display them. So you manually pick the configuration. So I usually break up articles. If I have like 9 on the page, I'll break them up into threes, or if I have more than that, at most I'll have 9 articles in a grid format before I'll have some call to action. And as in the second example, you can actually direct them anywhere. So I have join 10,000 writers, get Medium writing tips delivered straight to your inbox. And I believe this actually leads to another site of mine, mediumcourse.com. So you can actually link to multiple sites. So if you're really clever, you can go through and both at the top using the navigation bar link to your main site, but then you can break it down further and link to different categories on your site, different custom pages, whether those are landing pages or just basically, yeah, custom category pages. This really gives you a lot of flexibility, and it'll take a while for you to have enough content to create a Medium publication yourself, which is why I would encourage you to create a publication and then basically act as the editor and invite other people by tagging them or leaving a comment on their story. So if you're writing a publication about gardening, find people who've written gardening related articles, create a publication about gardening, um, maybe something like plant life, and then tag people and say, hey, I liked your article, want to feature it here. And basically, yeah, you can populate your publication with other people's content. They'll be happy that you picked it and want to feature it. But in between their content, you can feature all these call to action buttons. The fourth way to drive traffic from Medium to your blog is to build an email list using Medium's own tools. So there's 2 ways to do this. Medium allows you to collect subscriber emails directly from your personal profile. So when people are reading your stories at the end, in addition to your conclusion section, Medium will also have a basically like an opt-in uh, lead magnet type form where they'll encourage your readers to become your subscribers. And if people subscribe to this or they follow you and then opt in, basically you'll get their email info, as you can see. And this is, not used to be something where you couldn't message these people. There was no email list portability. Basically, you could send a general newsletter blast out, but you couldn't target people individually, or you didn't actually get their emails, so you couldn't export the list. Now, as you can see, you get them just like you would in any email marketing CRM. So you have their name, email, subscription date. So you could take these and export them, and basically, yeah, using your email CRM of choice, send, regular updates to these people. The other way to do this is, again, you need a publication, but if you've created a publication, people can separately opt in to get those newsletters, is what they call it. But really, it's the same sort of thing. You have subscriber data, and just in that screenshot, I wanted to show that it's kind of neat because it is like a CRM. It's showing the last sent email, the number of people it reached, the total number of opens, and then the click through rate. In this case, clicks, and then below it, click through rate. So really, this is a true newsletter function, and it's not something a lot of people are aware of on Medium. This was a feature they added to stay competitive with Substack, but it was kind of too late. By the time they added it, most people, including me, had already moved on and started building audiences there because you had more control over your list. But still, this is an overlooked function, and I don't even post to Medium under my profile or these publications very often, and I still get hundreds of people subscribing per month on each of my accounts and on each of my publications. So you can then retarget and remarket this content to your audience. The fifth way to drive traffic to your blog from Medium is to include links strategically in your bio, about page, and lists. There's a few other places you can include the links, like I mentioned in the article, but these are sort of the high value real estate, digital real estate options that Medium gives you. So as you can see in the left there, that's like a screenshot of my basically Medium profile bio. And you can see I actually have two different uh, linkable assets. I have a link going directly to bloggingguide.com. And then I actually have another link to Blogging Guide's Substack newsletter. So get two links in there, which is great. You can actually have more than two links, but you are limited by the total number of characters. Just make sure you include the .com, and yeah, that'll turn that into a hyperlink that's clickable. And there's no restriction on these, so you can direct this traffic wherever. Then if you want to get a little more creative, Medium more recently had added lists. And these are basically kind of like publications, but just a higher level of sort of organization where you can group your articles or other people's articles by topic. And as you can see, for example, my Medium writing tips list is like 130 stories of mine. So those are all stories involving, I think there's a few of other people too, but basically most of those are mine. And they're basically all articles about how to write on Medium. You can see it has 8 saves. So those are from other people. And basically, yeah, other people can see these lists. They're featured on the right hand side of your article when you're scrolling. And so people are encouraged to click on them, especially if they get enough saves or just contextually they make sense. And when you click on these, obviously, since you're curating the articles, again, it's one step removed, but you can direct people to certain articles. And then within those articles, you might, pick articles that you mention your blog very strategically in, say, the first paragraph. And this is a great way to indirectly funnel people to your blog. Again, you don't want to do this in a overly spammy way. It should still be just, you're grouping these by topic. That's probably the easiest way. But yeah, this definitely is something that's allowed. And then the final thing you'll see is a screenshot from the About page. So when someone clicks on your profile, they'll basically see your bio, your lists, if you have any, which is why you should create them, and then your About page, which you should also create. This should basically be a longer version of the bio. It's pretty much like a post. You can write as much as you want in this space, but I would try to do it sort of along the lines of a bio so that it doesn't get too lengthy. But I have like a couple links in there. So right away, I have a link to if you wanted to support my content on Medium. And then I basically go through and talk about my background and link to all my other blogs. So I look at Google Analytics every month and I get hundreds of clicks still just from this page. So a lot of people see my profile and they click through. Even if you don't have a ton of followers on Medium, this strategy can still work. These 3 different places can work really well. Followers isn't really a great measure of success since only a limited amount of your followers actually see articles that you publish, even if you are frequently publishing. But if you go through and even just like, let's say, 100 people every day, or you highlight 100 articles, or you leave 100 comments, anything like this, people are basically going to get a notification. And the first thing they'll see when they click on your name depending on if they're on desktop or mobile, is some combination of your bio, lists, and the about page. So they might be curious who's engaging with their content. And as I often am, if someone, claps for my article, if I see a link in their bio and it looks interesting, I might check it out. So this is a strategy if whether you or a virtual assistant want to go through and engage with other people's articles. There's nothing saying you can't do that as long as you don't do it programmatically using bots or anything. But as long as you're manually going through, yeah, you can engage, and that's what Medium encourages you to do on the site. And some percentage of those people will click through and check out your content. If it's relevant, there's a pretty good chance that they'll actually remain on the page and you'll successfully gain those readers on your third-party blog. Thanks for watching my video on how to drive traffic to your blog using Medium. If you like this type of content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get all the latest in terms of blogging videos, tips, tricks, and different making money online ideas. If you have questions about blogging, you can always check out my website, bloggingguide.com. I have a Substack newsletter by the same name. If you want to learn more about Medium and specifically how to make money using the partner program, which is something I didn't discuss in this video, you can check out my Medium course. I'll include the link in the description. And if you just want to follow me or reach out on social media, I can pretty much be found on any platform at Casey Botticello. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.